Before we begin, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more bedtime stories. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is. And if there's a story you'd like to hear next, I'd love to know that too. I never thought anything bad would come from a dating app. Loneliness? Sure. Awkward conversations? Obviously. A couple of weirdos here and there? Yeah, that comes with the territory. But real danger? Nah. I always figured that stuff happened to reckless people, not to someone like me. My name's Isaac Rowan, but everyone just calls me Ike. I'm 29, and I live on the southern edge of Maple Harbor, Ohio, which is one of those towns that pretends it's a city. We've got a downtown that shuts down at 9, a mall that smells like old popcorn, and a whole lot of folks who've been here their whole lives and never left. I wasn't one of them. I came here 4 years ago after my last relationship went up in flames. Betrayal, lies, the whole checklist. I thought a new town might mean a fresh start. Instead, it just meant new streets to drive while replaying old memories. My weeknights were all the same. Clock out from work at the HVAC shop, hit a drive-through, shower, watch TV until I forgot I existed, then sleep. Rinse, repeat. Before long, the silence became a little too loud. That kind of silence doesn't scream, it whispers. Whispers things like, maybe you're meant to be alone. One Thursday night in early March, I cracked. Downloaded Heartline, a dating app I'd sworn I'd never use again. I told myself it was just for conversation, just to feel human again. I regret that decision every day of my life. I wasn't having much luck at first. Either no one matched with me, or the ones who did stopped replying after 2 messages. Honestly, I didn't blame them. I wasn't exactly top-tier material these days. I had eye bags that made me look half-haunted, and a jawline that had surrendered to late-night tacos. But then her profile popped up. Nariah Quinn, 26, just looking for something real. Not perfect, just real. 2 pictures. One of her sitting on the hood of some old Chevy at a gas station, wearing a denim jacket and this lazy half smile. Another selfie in low light, eyes big and tired but soft. My thumb hovered over the screen. Something about her felt grounded, like someone who wasn't pretending. I swiped right. It was an instant match. Before I could even react, a message appeared. Nariah, you up? It was 9:47 p.m. Kinda bold for a first message, but whatever. Me, yeah. You? Nariah, not really sleeping tonight. Me, same here. You okay? She replied almost instantly. Nariah, could use company. You seem chill. Mind if we talk for a bit? Her typing bubbles kept appearing and disappearing like she was second-guessing herself. After a minute, she sent, you got a place that's quiet? Mine's not great tonight. I read that 3 times. A sane person would have said no, but loneliness makes stupid choices look reasonable. Me, yeah, my place is quiet. Nariah, send me the address? My heart skipped. I typed it out before I even processed what I was doing. She replied, on my way. By 10:18 p.m., a silver Ford sedan rolled into the parking area behind my building. I watched from my second-floor window as she stepped out. She looked smaller in person, long black hair pulled into a loose braid, hoodie 2 sizes too big, hands shoved deep in her pockets like she was cold or anxious, or both. When she walked up the stairs, her footsteps were light, almost hesitant. I opened the door. Hey, Nariah? She lifted her eyes to meet mine. They were soft but tired, the kind of tired that sits deep in a person's bones. Hi, Ike. She said quietly, like she'd practiced my name before saying it. Her voice wasn't what I expected. It was steadier, warmer, but strained like someone who'd been crying earlier. Yeah, come in, I said, shifting aside. Her gaze scanned the apartment slowly, taking everything in with this careful, almost analytical silence. Family photos, the worn couch, the old space heater near the window. You live alone? She asked. Yeah, just me. She nodded without expression. Good. The way she said it made a small knot tighten in my stomach, but I brushed it off. I always overthought things. We settled in the living room. I handed her a soda and turned on the TV for background noise. For the first hour, everything was normal. Easy conversation about jobs. She worked odd gigs, she said. Coffee shops, night shifts, whatever paid. She laughed when I told her about the time I accidentally blew a breaker at a client's house. "You're like comfort energy," she said with a shy smile. I felt my ears go warm. No one had said anything like that to me in a long time. But around midnight, her demeanor shifted. She'd get quiet mid-sentence, stare at corners, flinch at sounds that weren't there. At one point, she muttered something under her breath. I didn't catch it. "You okay?" I finally asked. She blinked slowly. "Yeah, just thinking." "About what?" "About how people change when they think no one's watching." I gave a small, awkward laugh. "That sounds ominous." "It's just true," she whispered. "Sometimes they show who they really are. Sometimes he does too." I frowned. "Who's he?" She didn't answer. Instead, she asked, "Can I crash here tonight? Just for a few hours. I won't be any trouble." My gut twisted, but her eyes, God, they look so broken. "Yeah," I said. "I can set you up on the couch." "Floor's fine," she said immediately. "I can't sleep on couches." Weird, but okay. By 12:40 a.m., she was lying on a blanket on the floor beside my bed. I tried to sleep but couldn't. Something about the silence felt wrong. Eventually, I drifted off. I woke up for no reason. Cold sweat, dry mouth, room dimly lit by moonlight. Instinctively, I looked down at the floor. Empty. "Naraya?" I whispered. No reply. Then I heard it, a faint murmuring, downstairs. I stepped carefully, trying not to creak the floorboards. Halfway down the stairs, I froze. Her voice, low, shaky, wavering between anger and fear. "Don't make me do it again. Don't make me." My pulse hammered. I walked into the kitchen slowly. She was sitting in a chair facing the wall, knees to chest, rocking slightly. Her fingers squeezed the sleeves of her hoodie like she was trying to hold herself together. "Naraya?" Nothing. Another step. "Naraya, talk to me. You're scaring me." She whispered without looking up. "It's not you." My throat tightened. "Then who?" She turned her head, just a little, and her eyes met mine. They were glassy, pupils wide. "You shouldn't have let me in." My breath caught. What does that mean? But she didn't explain. She stood abruptly and walked past me, murmuring, "He doesn't like when I talk." Then she headed upstairs. Every instinct screamed at me to run. Instead, I grabbed my phone and called my older brother, the only person who picks up late. It rang twice. He answered groggily, "Dude." "What?" "Caleb, there's a girl here from Heartline and she's not right, man. She's talking to herself. I don't know what to do." "Why'd you let a stranger stay over?" I don't know. She seemed harmless." "Call the cops. Feels messed up." Call the cops. Now." I swallowed hard. Then I saw it. A figure standing at the top of the stairs. Still, watching. "Naraya," I whispered. She stepped into the moonlight. Her smile was small, crooked, wrong. Then she moved, fast. She sprinted down the stairs with a guttural scream, a sound so raw it didn't sound human. I stumbled back, dropping my phone. She slammed into me, knocking both of us into the wall. Her hands went straight for my throat. "You shouldn't have opened the door," she shrieked. "He said you were like the others." Her nails dug into my skin. I shoved her off, but she fought like someone possessed, thrashing, kicking, clawing. "What the hell is wrong with you?" I shouted, pinning her wrists. She writhed beneath me, whispering frantically, "He chose you. He chose you. He chose you." "Stop!" She froze. Just stopped. Her chest heaved. Tears streamed down her face. "I didn't want to do this again," she whispered. "I told him no. I told him." Before I could process that, she shoved herself out from under me and scuttled back to the kitchen, sitting again in the same chair, rocking, whispering something too quiet to hear. Hands shaking, I grabbed my phone and dialed 911. Within 8 minutes, red and blue lights flashed outside. 2 officers entered cautiously. I just pointed to the kitchen, unable to speak. They found her sitting perfectly still, hands folded in her lap, whispering, "Don't make me do it again. Don't make me." They cuffed her gently, like she was fragile glass, and walked her out. One of the officers lingered. "You said she came from a dating app?" he asked. "Yeah." He shook his head. "You'd be surprised how many of these we get." The next afternoon, they called me. She wasn't named Naraya. Her real name was Sarah Quinn. Reported missing 7 months earlier. Severe psychiatric history. Multiple disappearances. No stable residence. And the part that makes my blood run cold even now, they found a phone in her car filled with dozens of screenshots of men's profiles, all marked with red or green. Mine was green, circled, twice. I deleted Heartline the next morning, got a new lock installed, stopped sleeping for a while. Even now, 8 months later, if my phone buzzes past midnight, a cold shiver runs through me. Sometimes when the apartment gets too quiet, I swear I hear her voice again. "You shouldn't have let me in." And every time I hear that echo, I wonder, who was he? And how close is he now? I wasn't planning on using a dating app again, not after everything I'd been trying to fix in my life. But that night, man, I was lonely in a way that kind of creeps up on you when you least expect it. My name's Jalen Price, 29 years old back then. Late winter of 2016, early February, when the cold in upstate Rivermont, Minnesota cuts straight through your jacket no matter how good it is. I'd moved into a small rental house after my long-term relationship ended. 7 years together, poof, gone. She left, I stayed, and silence filled the rooms after that. I used to work long shifts as a warehouse tech at a distribution center off Highway 19. Nights were always rough, especially winters. By the time I got home, the whole neighborhood would be swallowed in that kind of Midwest quiet. No cars, no people, just frozen stillness. I remember sitting on my couch with a cup of instant ramen next to me, staring at the wall like it owed me something. And that's when I re-downloaded the app Hallow, a newer dating app that had just gotten popular in the Midwest. People said it was safer, more verified, whatever that meant. I wasn't expecting anything, just wanted someone to talk to. My first few swipes, typical app stuff. Filtered faces, bios like love coffee and dog mom. Nothing that hit me. Then I saw her. Rhea. Just that name stood out. Clean, simple, kind of poetic. Her photo wasn't like others. No filters, no angles. It was her sitting by a window in a diner booth, wearing a dark beanie, hair tucked behind one ear, a book in her hands. Her smile wasn't full, more like a secret she wasn't sure she wanted to tell. Just trying to meet someone who isn't fake, be real, good vibes only. I swear those words pulled something in me. So I swiped, instant match. My stomach dropped, like, damn, okay, this is happening. 8:14 p.m. I messaged first. Me, hey, looks like we're both stuck inside tonight. This cold is ridiculous. She replied fast. Too fast almost. Rhea, tell me about it. Been freezing all day. You staying warm? Her tone was warm, casual, real, not forced like most. We talked about shows, favorite food, how Rivermont winters felt like punishment. It was smooth. She joked about how she'd already eaten half a bag of Cheetos as dinner. I told her that was the most relatable thing anyone had told me on a dating app. We kept going. No awkward pauses, no full-on flirting, just talking like normal humans. The kind of conversation you don't realize you've missed until it hits you. Around 10:02 p.m., she asked, "Rhea, be honest, do you ever meet people from here?" Me, couple times. Nothing wild. You, Rhea, not really. People feel different online. You don't though. That line hit me weird. Like she'd already made up her mind about me. Then, Rhea, look, I'm off tomorrow. You want to hang out? Just talk? I'm close by. Promise I'm not a psycho lol. I laughed a little, but something in my chest tightened. Not fear, but that nervous curiosity you get when something unexpected might change your night. Me, yeah, sure. I got heat, food, good Wi-Fi. You can come over if you want. There was a pause, longer this time, like she was thinking about something. Then, Rhea, send your address. I hesitated, just a beat, but I sent it. Rhea, be there soon. Then she went offline. No number, no last name, no second picture, just gone. I figured maybe she was getting ready. I put on a hoodie, straightened my place a bit, nothing crazy, and sat on the couch waiting. But minutes stretched. 10:30 p.m., 11, 11:40, nothing. I checked the app, still offline. I shrugged, figured she bailed, went to bed around midnight, exhausted from work and the weird disappointment in my chest. I fell asleep fast. 7:06 a.m. My phone buzzed. 3 notifications from Hallo. Rhea, 10:58 p.m. Heading out now. 1:42 a.m. Here. 3:03 a.m. You look even cuter in person. My breathing stopped. I sat up, instantly awake. That kind of awake where all your nerves go electric. I looked toward my window. The blinds were half open, and on the outside, footprints in the snow leading up to it. Not away. My head felt like it was filling with static. I typed back fast. Me. What the hell does that mean? She didn't reply. I moved slowly, too scared to even shift the blanket. Then my phone buzzed again. Rhea, check your hall closet. My heart stopped, literally stopped for one painful second. My hall closet was maybe 10 feet away. The door was slightly open, a thin line of darkness staring back at me. No, 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 I whispered. I stepped out of bed, legs shaking, and grabbed the first thing I found, my metal water bottle. I approached the closet slow, every step sounding loud, stupid loud, like the house was listening. The door creaked wider. I swore I heard breathing. Rhea, I whispered, if this is a joke, it's not funny. Nothing. I swung the door open hard, just jackets, boxes, cleaning stuff, no one. I exhaled so hard my knees went weak. Then I felt air behind me, cold. I turned. The bathroom window was cracked open. The latch turned from the inside. Someone had been in here. I shut the window and locked it, double-checked it, triple-checked. Then I called my coworker and close friend Niall, who lived a block down. The dude was huge, ex-college linebacker, and the kind of best friend who'd show up with no questions asked. He ran over in sweatpants and a flannel jacket. "Bro, what happened?" he asked, chest heaving. I showed him the messages. His eyes widened. "Dog, she was in your house while you were sleeping." "Looks like it," I said, voice cracking. We searched the whole place, top to bottom, attic, basement, every closet. Nothing. He told me to crash at his place for a few days. I did. Next few days, nothing happened. No messages, no footprints. I even convinced myself maybe it was some messed up prank. But on the 7th night at Niall's place, I heard something. 3:14 a.m., a phone notification. The Hallo app sound, the same triple chirp. Not his phone, not mine. Outside the bedroom window. I froze, then again, closer. I swallowed hard and peeked out through the blinds. A woman stood on the sidewalk across the street, under the street lamp. Hood up, head tilted, a light glow from her phone illuminating her face, pale, eyes locked on the house, on me. She raised her phone and typed something. My phone buzzed instantly. "Rhea, you moved. That's cute." I swallowed, throat dry. I called 911, but by the time cops arrived, she was gone. Just footprints in the slush pacing back and forth, circling the house. They filed another report, told me the same thing. The app won't give info without a court order. Keep your doors locked. Super helpful. I moved again a month later, to a different part of Minnesota. Changed my job, changed my number, deleted every dating app. I thought maybe I'd finally outrun whatever she was. But winter always comes back. And every winter, when snow gets thick and quiet again, sometimes, late at night, I'll hear that familiar triple chirp. And when I look outside, I swear I see faint footprints leading up to my window. Not fresh, not deep, just there, watching. I wasn't planning on dating again, not even close. After everything that happened with Leo last year, him ghosting me after 8 months, taking half his stuff from my apartment without even a text, it felt safer to just shut down that part of my life for a while. But loneliness has this way of creeping back in, especially on quiet nights when the TV is just background noise and the only thing in the room breathing is you. I live in Harrington, Pennsylvania, a mid-sized city where everyone knows someone who knows you, but somehow you still end up eating dinner alone more nights than not. I work as an office manager for a remodeling company on the south side, my days filled with answering phones, chasing contractors for invoices, and microwaving the same damn Tupperware lunches. Most of my friends are either married or halfway there. Group chats that used to be full of chaotic memes are now diaper updates, mortgage rants, and PTA screenshots. I was starting to feel like the last single piece of furniture in an IKEA showroom. So one Saturday night, sitting on my couch with my hair in a messy bun and a half-finished hard seltzer, I did the thing I promised myself I wouldn't do again. I re-downloaded Verdant, a dating app people in my area swear is not like Tinder. Bullshit, but whatever. I told myself I'd swipe a little, laugh at the bios, maybe talk to 1 or 2 guys if they didn't look like they collected Funko Pops in bulk. I wasn't looking for love. God, no. I just wanted to feel something again. That's how I matched with Calder. Not a common name, not a normal name either, but something about it stuck. His profile wasn't flashy, just a couple photos, one of him standing on a hiking trail in a flannel shirt, another of him holding a fishing rod, and one slightly blurry selfie in a truck. His smile wasn't cheesy, just warm, like he didn't try too hard. Laid back, gainfully employed. I cook, I open doors, I text back. I don't play games. If you like coffee shops that look like they were built in old garages, we'll get along. I chuckled. That's my exact type of coffee shop. I swiped right. He matched instantly. Calder. Wow, you matched me faster than my microwave burns popcorn. Me. That's a terrible way to start a conversation. Calder. Honesty. Pickup lines. But if you want one, I can lie to you. Me. Go ahead. Lie to me. Calder. I'm 6 feet 4 inches. I laughed out loud. First time a profile made me do that in months. His messages were quick, natural, not over the top. He asked about my job, my favorite restaurants, what I usually did on weekends. Nothing creepy or invasive, just normal, refreshing. By Monday evening, we were texting instead of using the app. Sometimes he sent voice notes, his voice low, relaxed, almost soothing. By Friday, he said something that made me pause. Calder. I like how real you are. Most people put on a performance, you don't. It feels good talking to you. It warmed something in me I'd kept locked away. A week later, he asked, Calder, you drink coffee at night or are you one of those sleep matters people? Me. Coffee at night is my toxic trait. Calder. Good. I want to drop off some beans I bought. Small batch, local. I think you'll love them. Me. Dude, you don't have to send me coffee. Calder. Let me treat you. What's your Cash App? I hesitated, but he wasn't being weird. No strings attached, no excessive flirting. Just a Hey, take this gift. After last year, kindness felt foreign. He sent $25, enough for coffee beans and a pastry with it. The next night, he invited me to a small get-together at his place. Not a date, he said. Just friends hanging out, grilling, watching a late football game. I almost said no. Meeting a guy at his house after only 2 weeks of talking? Dumb. Very dumb. But he followed up with, Calder, if you're not comfortable at any point, you can dip. No hard feelings. My place is super chill. My cousin and his girlfriend are coming too. You'll be safe. Those words, you'll be safe, made my stomach unknot a little. So, I agreed. His neighborhood was on the east side of Harrington. Older homes, lots of big porches, the kind of streets where kids ride bikes until dark. His house looked normal, too normal. String lights glowing on the porch, a beat-up red pickup in the driveway. When I stepped inside, I immediately noticed two things. 1, a faint smell of pine cleaner. 2, and a crack in the hallway door frame, like something had hit it very hard. In the living room were his cousin Bo, a stocky guy in his 30s, and Bo's girlfriend Kendry, who wore an oversized hoodie and socks with little pumpkins on them. They greeted me warmly, offered me a seat, made small talk. Normal, everything so normal. But then I spotted the kitchen cabinets. 2 were destroyed, like someone had taken a bat to them. Splintered wood, jagged edges, hinges bent backward. Trying not to stare, I asked lightly, me, rough night in here? Calder laughed. Calder, yeah, I kinda lost it last week. Took it out on the cabinets. His tone was casual, but my chest tightened. Me, you punched your cabinets. Calder, better than punching people, right? He waited for me to smile. I didn't. His cousin shot him a quick side eye. We all ended up in the living room. Bo cracked open beers. Kendry made a joke about the Steelers being cursed. I opened the bottle of wine I brought. We laughed, swapped embarrassing stories, talked about coffee, road trips, dumb childhood injuries. For a while, I actually relaxed. Then things shifted. Calder was standing by the counter, scrolling his phone, when suddenly he slammed it so hard the glass made a cracking sound. Me, whoa, what happened? Calder, nothing. His voice was sharp, too sharp. He picked up a stool and threw it across the room. It clanged against the wall and toppled over. I jumped. Kendry, dude, chill. Bo, what's your problem? Calder didn't answer. His eyes were unfocused, glassy, like he wasn't in his own body. Then, he stared at me, not with anger, with something worse, emptiness. He approached slowly. Me. Calder, stop, you're freaking me out. Without warning, he lunged and bit my arm, hard enough to bruise instantly. I screamed, shoved him with everything I had. He stumbled but didn't look sorry or confused. He looked hungry. He lunged again, this time toward my shoulder. I grabbed my wine bottle and hit him across the side of his head. Not enough to break it, but enough to make him grunt. Bo ran between us. Bo, Cal, what the hell? Calder stared at him like he didn't recognize his own cousin. Then he laughed, this broken, deranged laugh that made the hair on my arms stand up. He paced the room muttering. Then he hurled himself backward onto the hallway floor, fist punching the wall so hard his knuckles split open. Blood smeared down the paint. He dropped to his knees, sobbing hard enough to choke on his own breath. Calder, I can't stop. I can't, my head, my dad is dying. I can't. His voice cracked into something childlike. I stepped back, my heart racing. Me, you need help. You're not okay. I'm leaving. He lunged toward me again, but Bo shoved him to the ground. Bo, man, stop. You scared her. She's done. You gotta let her go. Calder was shaking violently. Calder, please don't go. Please, I can be better. I swear. Kendry grabbed my hand and whispered, Kendry, girl, leave now. I didn't need to be told twice. Outside, the air was crisp and cool. My heartbeat thundered in my ears. Calder stumbled out behind us, breathing heavy. Calder, you'll come with us, right? To cool off? We can go to the river. We'll take my truck. Me, I'm driving myself. His face twisted. Calder, no, You're riding with me. Me. Like hell I am. He stepped closer, jaw tight. For a moment, just one. I thought he was going to grab me. Then he snapped, called her. Fine, go home then. He slammed my car door so hard the window rattled. Bo dragged him away while I got inside. I sat gripping the wheel, breath stuttering in my chest. I waited until their truck pulled off. Then I started driving and saw him 3 blocks down, standing in the middle of the road, barefoot, shirt ripped, chest heaving, staring directly into my headlights. Me, whispering, "Oh my God." He sprinted at my car. I panicked and hit the gas. He slammed both hands against my hood, dragging them across with a screech that cut straight through me. He ran to my window, yanking the handle. Called her. "Open the door. I just want to talk. Open it." I reversed hard. His hand left a bloody smear across my back window. I floored it, not stopping until I reached the main road. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Bo. It's Bo. I'm so sorry. Please don't call the cops. He's not well. We're trying to get him help." Then another text came in. Called her. "I heard I went crazy last night. I don't remember doing anything. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me." I blocked the number. For 2 weeks I slept with the lights on. For a month I couldn't walk to my car at night without checking every shadow. It's been 8 months now. Sometimes, while driving home, I still check my rearview mirror. Sometimes I imagine I see him standing on the corner, barefoot, breathing heavy, waiting. People say monsters aren't real, but they are. They just message you first. I waved them over like it was some happy coincidence. Me. "Oh my God. Hey, didn't think you guys were around." Katie raised a brow at me. She could read my face like a damn billboard. Silas smiled tightly. "Silas. Friends of yours?" Me. "Yeah, just dropping in." When they sat down beside me, Silas's hand went under the table, onto my leg. Not gently, a firm, deliberate grip. I stiffened. Katie saw my face. Her smile dropped. "Katie, you good?" Me. "Yeah, just long day." Silas didn't remove his hand. Instead, he whispered without looking at me. "Silas, you have very still energy." I didn't even know what that meant, but the way he said it felt wrong. Katie and Levi ordered drinks and stayed for about an hour. Silas drank 4 beers in that time. Fast. Too fast. By the time my friends left, his pupils looked huge. I tried to close my tab. Silas stood behind me, so close I could feel his breath on my neck. "Silas," softly, "you smell exactly how I thought you would." My entire body locked up. Me. "Okay, I think you need to head home." Silas. "You think I'm drunk?" Me. "A little." Silas. "I'm not drunk, I'm relieved." Outside, snow had started again, thin flakes drifting sideways. I put on my coat and headed to my car. Silas followed. Silas. "Hey, wait. Can you drop me? I walked here." Me. "You walked? It's freezing." Silas shrugged like it didn't matter. Silas. "Just take me. Please, it's really close." Every instinct in me screamed no, but I didn't want to seem rude, and that stupid people-pleasing part of my brain won. So I unlocked the passenger door. Silas directed me through a quiet neighborhood. Small houses, wide driveways, Christmas lights still dangling from porches. Finally, he pointed to a pale green house with a sagging porch. "Silas, this one. I'm renting the room and back." I pulled into the driveway. Me. "Okay, here we are." Before I could hit unlock, Silas leaned in, fast. I turned my head to give him the polite cheek kiss. Safe, distant, but he grabbed my jaw, firm, controlling, and kissed me full on the mouth. Not a soft kiss, a consuming one. His tongue was in my mouth before I could think. I shoved him hard. Me. "What the hell?" Silas stared at me, breathing hard. "Silas, you taste exactly like I knew you would." My blood went cold. Me. "Get out of my car. Now." He didn't move. Instead, His eyes filled, suddenly with tears. Real ones. Silas, voice cracking. I'm in love with you. Me. You don't even know me. Silas. I knew the second I saw your picture. Some people you recognize. Me. Get out. I'm serious. He didn't move. Silas's hands curled into fists on his knees, like he was fighting some internal urge. Silas, whispering, you shouldn't threaten people you care about. Every hair on my body stood up. I unlocked the doors and reached for my phone. Me, I'll call the cops. He stopped. Something in his expression flattened, like a switch flipped. Then he smiled, a slow, eerie smile. Silas, I hear you. He stepped out into the snow and closed the door. I sped out of the driveway so fast the tires squealed. My hands were trembling so badly I almost dropped my phone. When I got home, there were already 3 missed calls from him. Then a message. Silas, you didn't say goodnight. I blocked him. Everywhere. 2 days passed. Nothing. Then a new Instagram account. No picture, no posts sent. You left your scarf in my car. I hadn't worn a scarf. I deleted the message. A week later, as I was leaving the UPS warehouse after closing at midnight, I noticed a car idling across the street. An old silver Honda with one busted headlight. Engine running. Lights on. Facing the building. I couldn't see inside. I climbed in my own car and took the long way home, checking my mirror every 10 seconds. I didn't see the Honda again, but when I got home, something was waiting on my doormat. A scarf. Gray. Cheap. Not mine. And wet. As if someone had stood there holding it for a long time. I moved apartments 3 weeks later, changed my number, started telling everyone I was taking a break from dating apps for good. Sometimes, even now, I'll be walking to my car and see someone ahead of me. Tall, blondish hair, big jacket, and my stomach will knot until they turn, and it's not him. Sometimes, late at night, I'll wake up thinking I heard footsteps on the stairs outside my door. And sometimes, when I leave for work in the morning, there are faint, wet footprints on the concrete steps. Too small to be a man's, too large to be a child's, just the size I remember. I tell myself they're from the rain, from delivery drivers, from neighbors, but deep down, I know. Silas was never walking home that night. He was following the person he already believed he belonged to, and people like him don't let go, ever. I waved them over like it was some happy coincidence. Me. Oh my God. Hey, didn't think you guys were around. Katie raised a brow at me. She could read my face like a damn billboard. Silas smiled tightly. Silas. Friends of yours? Me. Yeah, just dropping in. When they sat down beside me, Silas's hand went under the table, onto my leg. Not gently, a firm, deliberate grip. I stiffened. Katie saw my face. Her smile dropped. Katie, you good? Me. Yeah, just long day. Silas didn't remove his hand. Instead, he whispered without looking at me. Silas, you have very still energy. I didn't even know what that meant, but the way he said it felt wrong. Katie and Levi ordered drinks and stayed for about an hour. Silas drank 4 beers in that time. Fast. Too fast. By the time my friends left, his pupils looked huge. I tried to close my tab. Silas stood behind me, so close I could feel his breath on my neck. Silas, softly. You smell exactly how I thought you would. My entire body locked up. Me. Okay. I think you need to head home. Silas. You think I'm drunk? Me. A little. Silas. I'm not drunk, I'm relieved. Outside, snow had started again. Thin flakes drifting sideways. I put on my coat and headed to my car. Silas followed. Silas. Hey, wait. Can you drop me? I walked here. Me. You walked? It's freezing. Silas shrugged like it didn't matter. Silas. Just take me. Please, it's really close. Every instinct in me screamed no, but I didn't want to seem rude, and that stupid people-pleasing part of my brain won. so I unlocked the passenger door. Silas directed me through a quiet neighborhood. Small houses, wide driveways, Christmas lights still dangling from porches. Finally, he pointed to a pale green house with a sagging porch. "Silas, this one. I'm renting the room and back." I pulled into the driveway. Me. "Okay, here we are." Before I could hit unlock, Silas leaned in, fast. I turned my head to give him the polite cheek kiss. Safe, distant, but he grabbed my jaw, firm, controlling, and kissed me full on the mouth. Not a soft kiss, a consuming one. His tongue was in my mouth before I could think. I shoved him hard. Me. "What the hell?" Silas stared at me, breathing hard. "Silas, you taste exactly like I knew you would." My blood went cold. Me. "Get out of my car. Now." He didn't move. Instead, his eyes filled, suddenly with tears. Real ones. "Silas," voice cracking. "I'm in love with you." Me. "You don't even know me." Silas. "I knew the second I saw your picture. Some people you recognize." Me. "Get out. I'm serious." He didn't move. Silas's hands curled into fists on his knees, like he was fighting some internal urge. Silas, whispering, "You shouldn't threaten people you care about." Every hair on my body stood up. I unlocked the doors and reached for my phone. Me. "I'll call the cops." He stopped. Something in his expression flattened, like a switch flipped. Then he smiled, a slow, eerie smile. "Silas, I hear you." He stepped out into the snow and closed the door. I sped out of the driveway so fast the tires squealed. My hands were trembling so badly I almost dropped my phone. When I got home, there were already 3 missed calls from him. Then a message. "Silas, you didn't say goodnight." I blocked him. Everywhere. 2 days passed. Nothing. Then a new Instagram account. No picture, no posts sent. "You left your scarf in my car." I hadn't worn a scarf. I deleted the message. A week later, as I was leaving the UPS warehouse after closing at midnight, I noticed a car idling across the street. An old silver Honda with one busted headlight. Engine running. Lights on. Facing the building. I couldn't see inside. I climbed in my own car and took the long way home, checking my mirror every 10 seconds. I didn't see the Honda again, but when I got home, something was waiting on my doormat. A scarf. Gray. Cheap. Not mine. And wet. As if someone had stood there holding it for a long time. I moved apartments 3 weeks later, changed my number, started telling everyone I was taking a break from dating apps for good. Sometimes, even now, I'll be walking to my car and see someone ahead of me. Tall, blondish hair, big jacket, and my stomach will knot until they turn, and it's not him. Sometimes, late at night, I'll wake up thinking I heard footsteps on the stairs outside my door. And sometimes, when I leave for work in the morning, there are faint, wet footprints on the concrete steps. Too small to be a man's, too large to be a child's, just the size I remember. I tell myself they're from the rain, from delivery drivers, from neighbors, but deep down, I know. Silas was never walking home that night. He was following the person he already believed he belonged to, and people like him don't let go, ever. I wasn't planning on downloading anything new that night. I wasn't planning on doing much of anything, really. My entire senior year at Redford State University felt like a long blur of caffeine, lectures, and silent panic. I was 22, living in a crappy off-campus studio that smelled like old textbooks and burnt popcorn. My life was just noise, assignments, work shifts, sleepless nights, repeat. I don't know when exactly it happened, but somewhere between juggling my thesis, my job at Mojo's Smoothie Shack, and trying to keep my mental health from nosediving, I forgot what it felt like to have someone genuinely ask, "Hey, how was your day?" So one night, 1:27 a.m. to be exact, After finishing a 12-page research draft, my brain fried beyond repair, I found myself staring at the screen of my phone. The glow felt comforting, like a tiny flashlight in a cave. And that's when I downloaded Hearthmatch, a dating app I'd never used before. Not out of desperation, not because I wanted love, just because I wanted someone. A voice that wasn't my professor or my manager yelling about mop buckets. I'd been single for almost a year after things ended with my ex, Lila. We weren't toxic, we weren't dramatic, we were just two tired people going in different directions. But breakups leave cracks, even the clean ones. I guess I wanted to feel visible again. Scrolling through profiles was mostly comedic relief. Gym bros flexing like they were auditioning for a protein powder commercial. Guys holding fish like trophies. Men whose entire bio was 6'1" because it matters apparently. Then I saw him. Jackson Hale. He wasn't posing. He wasn't showing off. Just sitting on the hood of an old blue truck in a parking lot at sunset, wearing a faded denim jacket, squinting at the camera like the sun caught him off guard. No filter, no ego. Road trips, folk music, campfires. If you like iced coffee even in winter, we'll get along. Something about it felt harmless, normal. A dude who likes sunsets and coffee. That's it. We matched within a minute. His first message popped up almost instantly. Jackson, you look like someone running entirely on caffeine and prayer. I laughed, an actual laugh, not the exhale through the nose type, and typed back, me, bold claim. You stalking my eye bags? Jackson, only appreciating your honesty. Finals? Me. Finals, work, capitalism. Jackson, damn, you need a break or a hug, or both. The tone was friendly, not flirty. And after months of feeling like a ghost in my own life, talking to him felt strangely grounding. We talked about everything. My thesis, his job doing remote tech support, my smoothie shop horror stories, his obsession with campfire cooking, how he'd moved to Redford recently and barely knew anyone. For 3 days, we texted like old friends. I didn't realize then that I was giving him a map, little pieces, a schedule, my habits, where I studied, what time my shifts ended. It felt harmless, until it didn't. When finals hit full force, I couldn't keep up with anything, including texting strangers from apps. I needed tunnel vision. So one night, exhausted, I sent the same message to a few guys I was chatting with on Hearthmatch. Hey, I'm deleting the app, super busy with school, didn't want to ghost. Jackson replied in seconds. Jackson, totally understandable. You seem cool though. Want to stay in touch? I hesitated. He'd been decent, respectful, so I gave him my Instagram, figuring that was safe enough. A week later, he messaged me. Jackson, hey stranger, surviving finals? And just like that, he slipped back in. Still friendly, still normal. He'd ask about my classes, my playlists, whether Mojo's still forgot to restock strawberries. Nothing creepy. For months it was fine. Actually, nice. By spring, he asked, Jackson, we should grab coffee sometime. No pressure. I said the only thing I felt comfortable saying, me. Sure, but just as friends. I'm not dating right now. Jackson, yeah, no worries at all. Just coffee. We picked a date 3 weeks after finals. 3 weeks that changed everything. It started small. He'd message a bit more often, then more, then more. One morning I counted 14 texts in a row. Then he started calling it a date. Every time I corrected him, he'd send a winking emoji. Something that felt playful at first started feeling off. The night before exams, I decided to just clear the air. Me. Hey, just checking. We're still on the same page, right? Because I noticed you keep calling it a date, and it's not that. Jackson. What's that supposed to mean? My stomach tightened. Me. Just that I'm not looking for romance. Thought I told you. Jackson. So why'd you waste my time? I blinked at the screen. Me. I never said anything romantic. I thought we were friends. Jackson. You think you're too good for people, huh? Just like every other girl on these apps. My hands went cold. Me, Jackson, calm down. I'm being honest. Jackson, you'll regret playing me. He sent message after message, angry, accusatory, rambling paragraphs that didn't sound like the guy I'd been talking to for months. I blocked him, but I'd made a mistake, because when we planned coffee, I'd given him my number. The calls begin at 10:32 p.m. My phone lit up, Jackson calling, then again at 10:36, then 10:41, then a voicemail, then another call. 40 minutes of non-stop ringing until I silenced the phone and tried to sleep, heart pounding. The next morning, 37 missed calls, 15 voicemails, over 50 texts, some angry, some begging, some threatening. I just want to talk. Don't do this. You owe me a chance. Pick up or I'll come find you. I deleted everything, hoped it would stop. It didn't. Every day, new numbers, dozens of calls, dozens of texts. I contacted my carrier. You can block 3 numbers, ma'am. 3. He was using dozens. I begged them, nothing they could do. So I called the police. Contact your phone provider first, they said. We can take a statement if it escalates. If it did. 3 weeks later, his tone shifted again. No more begging, no more yelling, planning. I know your library schedule. You walk home around 6 on Tuesdays. You always stop at that deli near Elm Street. I stopped going everywhere. Stopped leaving my apartment except for class. Stopped sleeping. One night lying in bed, staring at the ceiling because I couldn't close my eyes. My phone buzzed, a new text. Girls like you think you're untouchable. You'll see. I'll make sure you do. My whole body went cold. Cold in a way that felt ancient. I called the police again, shaking, crying, barely breathing. The next morning, I went in and gave them every screenshot, every voicemail, every number. Detective Rosario looked me straight in the eyes. You did the right thing. We'll get a restraining order immediately. A week later, it was approved. And then, silence. Complete silence. No calls, no texts, no new numbers. Gone, like he never existed. Months later, when my breathing finally returned to normal, I checked his Instagram. Gone. Hearth match profile? Deleted. Numbers? Out of service. But through someone who knew someone who used to work with him, I learned one thing. He wasn't 27 like he said. He was 38. A grown man pretending to be younger, studying me, cataloging my life piece by piece. 10 months of messages, 10 months of subtle questions, 10 months of making himself seem safe, and I fell for it. Now, when people ask me why I don't use dating apps, I just say, because I met Jackson, and I never ever tell strangers my routine anymore. Some monsters don't hide under beds. They hide behind profile pictures. I always thought the homesickness would hit me in quiet ways, missing my mom's cooking, craving the sound of familiar trams, maybe even missing the smell of my old apartment building back in Brisbane. But it didn't go like that, not exactly. Instead, it hit me in waves, sharp and sudden, like I'd opened a door and braced for warm air, but got slammed with winter instead. When I moved to Ridgeview, Oregon for a 12-month work transfer, I told everyone back home I'd be fine. It's just a year, I'd say. A year goes by fast. But by the end of month 3, I was cracking. My job wasn't bad. It was the silence, the after-work loneliness. My apartment was a small 1-bedroom on the 3rd floor of a brick building that looked charming from the outside and sounded haunted on the inside. Pipes groaned, floorboards creaked, and the upstairs neighbor walked like he wore cement boots 24/7. I'd wake up at 6:30 a.m., shower, grab a stale muffin from the cafe downstairs, and walk to work with my hands shoved deep in my coat pockets while the Oregon rain misted sideways across my face. Every day felt identical. Copy, paste, repeat. One Saturday evening in November, Cold, wet, and too quiet. I was lying on my couch watching some random cooking show I wasn't even paying attention to. I had leftover pad thai on the coffee table, barely touched. My phone buzzed and I glanced at it hoping anyone messaged me. No one had. I dropped it back on my stomach with a sigh. That's when the boredom hit hard enough to make me sit up. I whispered to myself, "You need to talk to actual people, man. Real people." I'd deleted all my dating apps when I moved because I didn't want to jump into anything. But loneliness can make you do stupid things, like deciding that maybe, just maybe, you aren't as introverted as you always claim to be. So I re-downloaded Drift, a newer dating app everybody at work kept mentioning. As it loaded, I rolled my eyes. All right, let's see the circus. My profile was simple. Name, Ray Calder, 28 years old, likes coffee, road trips, and horror movies. Picture, me at Cannon Beach, looking windblown and mildly confused. I started swiping, profiles blurred together, gym selfies, fish pictures, someone holding a gun. Immediate nope. A guy who listed no drama and no plus-size women. And one dude who wrote, "Just here for hookups. Don't expect me to care. LOL." I groaned. God bless America. Then I landed on a profile that didn't make me roll my eyes. Landon Rhodes. His profile said, "I like old diners, long drives, sci-fi paperbacks, and cooking breakfast way too early on weekends. Not here for hookups, just looking for someone to talk to. Maybe more if we vibe." His pictures were normal. No shirtless pics, no gym grind set. Just him smiling awkwardly in a hoodie, him sitting with a golden retriever, and a photo of pancakes he captioned, "My true talent." I swiped right. I didn't expect the "it's a match" animation to pop up instantly. A second later, a new message, Landon. "Hey, night owl, or is this normal Aussie time?" I laughed softly. Me, "It's 10 p.m. here, and yeah, I'm a night owl. What's your excuse?" Landon, "Can't sleep. I'm working on a website redesign and my eyeballs are fried." We talked for almost 2 hours. He was funny in a quiet, self-aware way. No trying too hard energy. He told me he lived across town, worked remotely, had moved from Montana 2 years ago, and hated the rain as much as I did. He asked what brought me to Ridgeview. Me, "Work transfer. They needed an analyst out here, so here I am." Landon, "You liking it?" Me, "It's different." Landon, "That's a nice way of saying kinda miserable." Me, "You got me, yeah." We bonded over loving bad horror movies. He teased, "Landon, let me guess, you're one of those people who thinks the Blair Witch Project was actually scary." Me, "Hey, don't disrespect the classics." Landon, "I'm just saying a shaky camera and 3 people yelling at a map doesn't do it for me." Me, "You're uncultured, that's what it is." It was easy, comfortable, normal. We talked daily for the next 2 weeks, sometimes short messages, sometimes midnight-long conversations. I found myself actually smiling at my phone again. Then one day he wrote, "Landon, what are you doing this Friday? There's a diner I love called Miller's. Best biscuits in town. Want to grab dinner or breakfast or both?" I hesitated, not because I didn't want to meet him, but because you never fully trust dating apps. Still, I said yes. Friday night was chilly enough to make my bones ache. Ridgeview's wind had this way of slicing straight through clothes. I wore a rust-colored sweater, jeans, and boots. Simple, comfortable. Miller's Diner sat at the corner of a quiet intersection, a retro sign glowing neon blue against the drizzling night sky. Through the window, I could see people sipping coffee, laughing softly. I walked inside, the warm smell of toast and bacon wrapped around me. Landon stood when he saw me. He looked mostly like his pictures, maybe a little older, maybe more tired. His brown hair was shorter than in his photos, and he had faint shadows under his eyes. But when he smiled, it reached them. "Ray?" he asked. "That's me," I said, smiling back. "Wow," he breathed out softly. "Way better in person." I felt myself warm at the compliment. "You clean up pretty well too." We sat down and ordered. He got meatloaf. I got a chicken club. We talked about everything from Australian slang to the weird comfort of diner food. He told me about growing up on a ranch in Montana, his parents divorcing, how he moved to Oregon to start over. Nothing sounded like a red flag, just a guy being honest. At one point he asked, "So, do you miss home?" I swallowed, more than I thought I would. "I get that," he said softly. "Starting over's hard, even when you choose it." The way he said it felt personal, heavy, but I didn't pry. The conversation flowed easily. We shared jokes. He laughed at my stories. I laughed at his. He wasn't touchy or weird, just attentive. After dinner, we walked outside. Misty rain coated the pavement. "You need a ride home?" he asked. My Uber app was already open in my hand. "I'm good. You sure?" He pressed gently. "I'm headed that way anyway." I don't know why I said yes. I should have stuck with my Uber. But he seemed normal, sweet, maybe a little lonely. In his car, a beat-up Honda with a pine tree air freshener, I buckled my seatbelt and joked, "If you murder me, I swear my ghost will haunt your Wi-Fi." He laughed, but something in it was off. A second too delayed, a note too sharp, but I brushed it off. I always overthink. When we reached my building, he looked up at the dark windows and said, "You know, if you're not tired, I make really good hot chocolate." I blinked. "Oh, he smiled. "No pressure, just, you're cool. I'm enjoying tonight." Something about how sincere he sounded disarmed me. "All right," I said slowly. "1 cup." "Scout's honor," he said, holding up 3 fingers. He lived in an older building 10 minutes from mine. The hallway smelled faintly of disinfectant and old carpet. His door was painted badly, specks of the previous color peeking through. When he unlocked it, he flipped on a warm yellow lamp. The apartment was small, much smaller than mine. Studio style, bed near the wall, tiny kitchen, a single armchair, no couch. "Sorry," he said. "Not exactly HGTV material." "It's cozy," I said politely. He boiled milk in a saucepan, humming to himself. It felt normal again. He handed me a mug topped with marshmallows. We talked while standing in the kitchen. He told me about his job, his dog back in Montana who passed away. He asked me about home. Everything was fine, until my eyes drifted to a shelf near his bed. There was stuff, weird stuff. A porcelain mask with cracked paint. A rubber animal mask, something like a wolf. A thick hunting knife. A pair of heavy-duty gloves. A wooden box with dark stains along the edge. My stomach tightened. "Hey," Landon said casually, following my gaze. "You okay?" I swallowed. "Those masks, they're interesting." He shrugged. "Halloween, I collect old props. Found some at garage sales." "And the knife?" He lifted it. "Camping gear." His tone was too quick, too smooth. Then he added, almost joking, "You look like you think I'm some serial killer." I didn't laugh. He stepped closer. Too close. "You're not as scared of me, are you?" My mind whispered, "Lie, lie, lie." "No," I said softly. "I'm just tired. Long day." He stared a few seconds too long, then stepped back. "Yeah, long day." His voice dropped, distant, unreadable. I set my mug down. "I should probably get going." "You sure?" he asked, not smiling now. "You just got here." "Yeah," I said. "I have to wake up early." I grabbed my bag and moved to the door. My hand touched the doorknob. It didn't turn. Locked. Behind me, Landon exhaled a slow breath. "You know," he said quietly, "I wasn't planning on cutting the night short." My pulse hammered hard in my ears. "Can you unlock the door?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. He didn't move, didn't blink. Then very slowly, he reached up and turned the lock. "Sorry," he murmured, force of habit. I didn't wait. I yanked the door open and walked briskly into the hallway. He didn't follow, didn't call after me, just stood in the doorway, watching. "Good night, Ray," he said softly, the way someone says a secret. I practically sprinted to the street before calling an Uber. The driver kept asking if I was okay. I kept lying. When I got home, I locked my windows, double-checked the front door, sat on the floor with my hands shaking. In the morning, I opened Drift. His profile, gone. The entire chat, gone, as if he'd never existed. A chill ran through me. I reported the account, though I knew it wouldn't matter. That night, I heard something outside my apartment door, a soft scrape, like metal tapping wood. I looked through the peephole, nothing there. But when I opened the door the next morning, a porcelain mask sat on the floor, cracked paint, the same one from his shelf. No note, no explanation. I moved apartments a week later. I deleted every dating app, haven't re-downloaded them since. Sometimes loneliness is dangerous, but sometimes people are worse. I remember the night everything shifted for me. Not because anything dramatic happened at first, but because nothing had been happening for too damn long. I was 23, living alone in a small rented duplex on the east edge of Brooks Hollow, Pennsylvania. One of those places where the loudest thing at night is the ice machine humming at the 24/7 sheets down the road. Life had gotten quiet, too quiet. The breakup I'd gone through a year earlier had stripped something out of me. Confidence, motivation, whatever you want to call it. And I'd been walking around feeling like an unplugged lamp. I'd go to work at the tire shop, come home smelling like motor oil, throw something in the microwave, and stare at my TV until I fell asleep on the couch. Rinse, repeat, the kind of routine that makes you forget you're an actual person. One night in early March, cold enough that my breath fogged inside my living room because the furnace kept acting up, I said screw it. I wasn't trying to find the one. I just wanted to talk to somebody who wasn't named Paul or Jerry from the shop. So I downloaded Maple Meet, a dating app people in my town swore was more real than Tinder. I doubted it, but boredom does things to you. I spent 20 minutes swiping before I saw her. Leora, 22, short curly hair, warm brown eyes, standing in front of a mural downtown. Another photo of her smiling in a thrift store mirror, tongue out playfully. Bio, art student, caffeine gremlin, and low-key scared of commitment but trying to be brave. Talk to me nicely. It felt normal, real, not like the usual filtered to hell profiles. I swiped right. It was a match instantly. A few seconds later, she messaged, "So, what brings you to Maple Meet? Bored, heartbroken, or just hungry for validation like the rest of us?" I smirked. Me. D. All of the above. Leora. Honesty? Damn, that's refreshing. That was the start. Over the next 2 weeks, we talked every night. Real conversations. Not the usual wide garbage. She told me she worked part-time at a craft store and lived with her cousin on the north side of town. She liked horror movies, old diners, and stray cats that look like they've seen some shit. Her humor was sarcastic, dry, but soft underneath. And the way she typed, I don't know. It felt like she saw me. One night she asked, "Why'd your last relationship end?" I hesitated before typing. She didn't trust me, or herself, or anything. Damn, mine ended with a blocked number and a broken lease. Trauma bonding unlocked. We laughed. It felt good. Finally, one Thursday night around 10:30, she said, "Want to grab food tomorrow? I'm off at 6. Yeah, definitely. Cool. Pick me up? My cousin took the car again. Sure, send me the Addy. She sent it. 1427 Brookpine Lane. A neighborhood I vaguely knew but had never been inside. Something about it nagged me. Couldn't figure out what. I got there at 6:33 p.m. 3 minutes late because I kept redoing my hair like a dumbass in the rearview mirror. The house looked older in person. Faded green paint, sagging porch, one flickering porch light that buzzed like a dying bug. There was a beat-up charcoal grill on the side of the porch and a broken plastic chair tipped over near the steps. I texted me, "Hey, outside." A minute passed, then she replied, "Ugh, give me 2 minutes. My cousin wants to meet you, WTF." Me, okay, Leora. I know it's dumb. He's overprotective. Just humor him, Plaus. Before I could respond, the front door opened with a loud creak. A tall guy stepped out. 6'2", maybe 6'3", hoodie, jeans, thick beard, eyes shadowed like he hadn't slept in days. He raised his hand lazily. "Yo, you're, Eli, right?" "Yeah." I stepped out of my car, trying to look friendly. "You must be your cousin. Name's Tyrek." His grip was tight when he shook my hand, too tight. "Thanks for picking her up," he said. "There's some weird dudes around here." "Yeah, for sure," I laughed awkwardly. "Come inside for a sec." She's grabbing her bag. Every instinct I had said, "Don't." But he was already heading inside, holding the door open. I swallowed and followed. The place smelled like old carpet and fried something. Fish, maybe. The walls were yellowed, cluttered with random stuff. Gaming controllers, old newspapers, a bike tire leaning against the hallway wall. "Just hang here," Tyrek said, nodding toward the living room. "She'll be down." I stepped inside. 2 guys sat on an old couch facing a TV playing some Static Snow. They turned to look at me at the same time. One had a beanie pulled low, tattoos on his neck. The other wore a sleeveless shirt in March, because apparently cold wasn't a thing for him. "Sup," I said. The sleeveless guy smirked. "So you're the date." "Looks like it," I joked weakly. They didn't laugh. I texted Leora again. "Hey, just inside. You good?" No response. Tyrek walked upstairs, boots thudding loudly. The house felt wrong, off, like the walls were holding their breath. Then I noticed something. There were no pictures anywhere, no frames, no portraits, nothing showing that a girl named Leora lived here. The guy in the beanie leaned forward. "You from around Brooks?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. "East Side." He nodded slowly, eyes not leaving mine. Sleeveless guy stood up, stretching his neck until it cracked. I tried to keep calm. "So, how long you all lived here?" Silence. The air tightened. Upstairs I heard something. Not talking, not moving around. It sounded like whispering. I walked toward the stairs, voice trembling. "Hey, everything good? We can just head out." Tyrek's voice exploded. "Give us a second." My stomach dropped. I turned back to the 2 guys. Beanie guy muttered under his breath, "Don't let him bolt." Sleeveless guy nodded. That's when I knew. That's when everything inside me screamed. "Run!" I bolted toward the door. "Grab him!" someone yelled. Sleeveless guy lunged first, grabbing my jacket sleeve. I twisted hard, feeling the fabric rip, stumbling forward. Beanie guy was right behind me. I dove for the door handle, yanked it open. Cold air smacked me in the face, feet pounding behind me. Someone yelling, "Stop him!" I sprinted across the yard like my life depended on it, because it did. I fumbled my keys, dropped them, swore, snatched them back up with shaking hands, unlocked the door, slammed inside. Beanie guy's fist hit the window so hard the glass vibrated. I locked the doors, heart smashing against my ribs. Tyrek stormed out of the house now, face twisted. "Get him!" I hit reverse, tires screeching, jumped the curb, and tore down the street. In the mirror, the 3 of them stood in the middle of the road, watching. Still no sign of any girl, no Leora, just darkness behind that porch light. I drove straight to the brightly lit Sunoco station, parked under a huge fluorescent light, and forced my shaking hands to dial 911. When the officers arrived, I explained everything. The house, the men, the fake profile, the chase. Officer Grady asked, "You said her name's Leora? And the house was 1427 Brookpine?" "Yeah," I said. "Please tell me you're going over there." "We know that house," Grady muttered. "Different reports came in this year. Same pattern. Fake accounts, fake girls, real victims." My jaw clenched. "Did you find her?" "There is no Leora living at that address," Grady said quietly. "No woman matching any description you gave." We checked. The Maple Meat profile disappeared minutes later. Police arrested 3 men. 1 guy got away. And even now, months later, whenever I drive through Brooks Hollow, I swear sometimes the flickering porch light at 1427 Brookpine is still on, still waiting, still hunting, still pretending to be someone you want to meet. Just another lonely guy hoping for connection, just like I was.